let's bring our jury in, and then let's do that, and then we'll, hopefully the interpreter will
Oh,
be.
wait. Interpreter's here, Judge.
All right, bring him on in.
Michelle? Yes, ma'am. Do you have an instruction to
I do, and it was, jury instructions during the trial.
All right, defendants are present, defense counsel's present, state's present. Let's bring in our jury.
I'm not sure if Your Honor wants to read the instruction for the interpreter now or at the close of.
Do we have people that speak Spanish? Do we know?
On the panel, I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Sure, I'll read it when they come in.
All rise.
All right, you guys can have a seat as soon as you get to your seat.
All jurors are knowledgeable.
Okay, very good. Okay, everyone, please be seated. All right, members of the jury, Spanish may be used during this trial. The evidence you are to consider is only that provided through the official court interpreters. Although some of you may know Spanish, it is important that all jurors consider the same evidence. Therefore, you must accept the English interpretation. You must disregard any different meaning. If, however, during the testimony there is a question as to the accuracy of the English interpretation, you should bring this matter to my attention immediately by raising your hand. You should not ask your question or make any comment about the interpretation in the presence of the other jurors, or otherwise share your question or concern with any of them. I will take steps to see if your question can be answered and any discrepancy resolved. If, however, after such efforts a discrepancy remains, I emphasize that you must rely only upon the official English interpretation as provided by the court interpreter and disregard any other contrary interpretation. And we have our interpreter present. Please state your name for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ryan Woodson, State Certified English Spanish Court Interpreter for
Okay.
the record.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to translate to the best of your ability from English to Spanish and Spanish to English?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, very good. Call your next witness.
The state would call Pablo Gaibor, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Mr. Gaibor is also on our list for instruction, Your Honor, to the media.
Pardon me?
Mr. Gaibor is also on our list for instruction to the media as well.
Okay, and this will be another witness whose identity shall not be broadcast.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you may proceed.
Good afternoon, sir.
Buenas tardes, señor.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Would you tell us your name, please?
¿Nos diría su nombre, por favor?
Pablo Gaibor.
Pablo Gaibor.
And do you work or live here in the Tampa area?
¿Y trabajo vive usted aquí en el área de Tampa?
No, yo vivo en Ocala.
No, I live in Ocala.
And what is it that you do for work?
¿Y a qué se dedica como trabajo?
Soy técnico en irrigación.
I'm an irrigation technician.
Were you in Tampa in June of 2024, specifically on the 23rd of June?
¿Estuvo usted en Tampa en junio de 2024, específicamente el día 23 de junio?
Sí,
Yes.
Why were you here?
¿Para qué estaba aquí?
de vacaciones con mi familia.
I was on vacation with my family.
What type of a vacation was that? What were you doing?
¿Qué clase de vacaciones era? ¿Qué estaban haciendo?
Vinimos de visita al zoológico.
We came to visit the zoo.
Who all is included in your family when you tell me you came here with your family? Who was with you?
¿Quién está incluido en su familia cuando usted me dice que vino con la familia? ¿Quién estaba con usted?
Mi esposa, mi hijo y mi hija.
My wife, my son, and my daughter.
And were you staying in a hotel room and sleeping on the early morning hours of June 23rd of 2024 with those family members?
Estaba quedándose usted en el hotel y durmiendo en las altas horas de la mañana del 23 de junio del 23 de junio.
Sí, es así. Estoy hospedado en un hotel.
Yes, we were staying at a hotel.
How old are the children that were present with you?
¿Qué edad tenían los hijos que estaban presentes con usted?
Mi hijo tiene ahorita 12 años, y la niña 8. En ese tiempo tenían 10 y 6, si no me equivoco.
They are 8 and 12 now. At that time, I believe they were 10 and 6, if I am not incorrect, if I'm not mistaken.
And what were the sleeping arrangements inside of the hotel room?
¿Y cómo eran los arreglos de las acomodaciones para dormir dentro del cuarto?
Era una habitación familiar, eran dos camas, y estaba acostado yo con mi hijo y mi esposa con mi hija.
It was a room with a family-style room with 2 beds. I was laying with my son, and my wife was laying with my daughter.
And did anything happen that awoken you that night or that early morning?
Y algo
On the
pasó
23rd.
que lo despertó en las altas horas de esa mañana.
Sí, a las 4 o 5 de la mañana escuchamos un ruido bastante fuerte que nos asustó demasiado.
Yes, at 4 or 5 a.m. we heard a sound that was quite loud, noises that were quite loud, and that scared us.
And was it only that one noise that scared you, or was there more than one noise?
¿Y era solamente ese ruido que lo asustó o era más que un solo ruido?
Fue un ruido que parecía ser lo primero que pensé que fue una bomba o algo así, porque fue demasiado fuerte.
It was a sound that was, at first I thought it was a bomb because it was such a loud, strong sound.
And what about it made you think that it was a bomb? Just because it was of the volume of it?
¿Y qué aspecto de eso lo hizo pensar de ser una bomba? ¿Solamente por lo alto que era, lo fuerte que era?
Fue lo fuerte y lo muy cercano, porque lo sentí cerca.
It was how strong or loud it was and how close it was, because I heard it to be close.
Once you heard that sound, what happened next that you recall?
En cuanto usted escuchó ese sonido, luego ¿qué pasó? ¿A qué se acuerda?
Nos asustamos demasiado, mis hijos empezaron a llorar.
We got very frightened. My children began to cry.
Yo lo que hice fue agarrar a mi hijo, acostarlo al piso.
I grabbed my son and laid him down on the floor.
Mi esposa agarró a mi hija y también la puso al piso.
My wife grabbed my daughter and also put her down on the floor.
Tratamos de calmarlos porque estábamos todos muy nerviosos.
We tried to calm them down because we were all very nervous.
No sabíamos lo que estaba pasando.
We didn't know what was happening.
But the sound was of the nature that it made you in fear for your family's safety.
Pero era una clase o la naturaleza del sonido lo hizo usted temer por la seguridad de su familia.
Sí, porque se escuchó después que estábamos en eso, escuchamos mucho ruido en la parte exterior del hotel.
Yes, because afterwards, and we heard lots of noises outside of the hotel.
What kind of noises outside of the hotel
¿Qué clase de
afterwards?
ruidos fuera del hotel?
Gritos y después sirenas de la policía.
screams and later on sirens from the police.
Can I take you back to when you first heard the noise and you were all getting down? Could you hear what your wife or children were saying?
Volvemos al momento que al principio escucharon el sonido y todos estaban bajando al piso. ¿Podía usted escuchar lo que su esposa y sus hijos estaban diciendo?
Mis hijos lloraban. Mi esposa después ella se quejó de un dolor en su pierna.
My children were crying, and later on my wife complained of a pain in her leg.
Pero no entendíamos por qué tenía ese dolor y después yo observé la pierna de ella.
But we didn't understand why she had that pain, and after that I observed her leg.
Y tenía una quemadura en su pierna.
She had a burn on her leg.
How did you know it was a burn? What did you see on her leg that led you to think that?
¿Cómo sabía que era una quemadura? ¿Qué vio usted? ¿Qué observó en la pierna de ella que lo llevó a pensar eso?
Estaba roja la pierna de ella, tenía un punto rojo en su pierna.
It was red. There was a red spot on her leg,
Y le ardía mucho.
and it burned very much.
Then after that, did your son complain of any pain?
Y después de eso, ¿su hijo se quejó de algún dolor?
Él no se quejó de dolor, él solo estaba temblando y con mucho miedo.
He didn't complain of pain. He was just trembling and was very afraid.
Is there a time that you are all laying there when you actually find something that you believe has some kind of value to turn into the police?
Y llega algún momento que están ustedes todos recostados ahí, que usted encuentra algo que le parece que tiene algún valor para entregárselo a la policía.
Sí, después que ya vimos que estaba la policía, que sentimos que estaba la policía, mi hijo vio en la cama de mi esposa.
Yes, after we heard that the police was there, my son saw on my wife's bed.
Había algo que se había quemado cobertor
There was something that had burned the comforter,
y él encontró tocó en el piso y encontró un pequeño pedazo de metal.
and he touched on the floor and he found a small piece of metal,
Y asumimos que eso golpeó a mi esposa en la pierna.
and we suppose that hit my wife on her leg.
When you could hear the sirens outside, could you see the police?
Y cuando usted pudo escuchar las sirenas afuera, ¿podía ver a la policía?
Veía a oficiales que caminaban por todo lado del otro hotel.
I saw officers who were walking all around the other hotel.
Did you feel safe for you or your family to leave your room that evening?
¿Usted se sentía seguro para usted o su familia salir de su cuarto esa tarde?
No quise salir porque al principio no sabía si eso estaba pasando en el hotel donde yo estaba o donde estaba pasando. No.
I didn't want to go out because at first I didn't know that if that was happening in the hotel where I was staying or the other hotel. I just didn't know.
What did you do with what you found inside of the room?
¿Y qué hizo usted con lo que encontró dentro del cuarto?
Al día siguiente me acerqué a la administración del hotel porque nos habíamos quedado sin aire acondicionado y entregué ese metal.
The following day, I approached the administration of the hotel because we had been left without air conditioning, and I handed over that piece of metal.
Did you have any information or idea about whether the loud noise that you heard and the lack of air conditioning were linked in some way?
¿Tiene usted alguna información o idea sobre si el pedacito el sonido que había escuchado y la falta de aire eran relacionados de alguna forma?
No puedo yo relacionar eso que haya sido, pero justamente cuando ya nos quedamos sin aire es porque pasó eso.
No, I can't relate the two things, but just at the moment when we were left without AC is when that happened.
And did you ultimately have an opportunity to provide a statement to the police about what happened?
Y al fin y al cabo tuvo usted la oportunidad de hacer una declaración a la policía sobre qué había pasado.
La policía se contactó conmigo cuando yo estaba de regreso a casa, a Ocala.
The police got in touch with me when I was back at my house in Ocala.
So you had provided the metal that you found and your contact information when you all checked out.
Entonces usted le había suplido o proporcionado el metal que encontró y sus datos de contacto ya cuando ustedes salieron, se abandonaron el hotel.
El pedazo de metal lo dejé en la administración del hotel. Y
The
ahí
piece of
quedaron,
metal I
mis
left,
contactos. Ahí quedaron mis contactos.
I left the piece of metal with the administration of the hotel and my contact information also.
I will pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Gonzalez?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sinardi?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise?
No questions.
Mr. Petrides? All right, may this witness be excused? Mrs. Murr, may this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize.
All right, thank you, sir, you're free to go.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
And is that it for the interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go too. All right, have a good day. All right, who's your next witness?
Aliyah Albritton?
And is this another witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and again, this is another witness who does not wish to have their identity broadcast.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Okay, you may proceed.
Please state your full name for the record.
Aliyah Albritton,
Ms. Albritton, how old are you?
22,
What city do you live in?
Jacksonville,
How long have you lived in Jacksonville?
my whole life.
Do you know somebody by the name of Tyfa McCray?
Yes,
How do you know Tyfa McCray?
he's my friend.
Do you also know a person by the name of Kemia Bentley?
Yes,
How long have you known Miss Bentley?
a few years.
I'm going to ask you about June 23rd of 2024 and the weekend leading up to that day, that Saturday. Did you have plans to come to Tampa on that weekend?
Yes,
Who did you come to Tampa with?
Tyfa
Tyfa
and,
McCray?
and Kemia.
All right. Who was the driver?
Tyfa,
Did you come in his car?
yes.
And what day did you come to Tampa?
I think on a Friday.
The Friday of that weekend?
Yeah.
Where did you all go?
To Airbnb.
Who was at the Airbnb?
Tyfa and his cousins.
And when you say his cousins, are you referring to Charles Jones?
Yes,
Did you know Charles Jones?
yes,
Did you know who he was?
yes,
Did you know that he was a rapper in Jacksonville?
yeah,
He goes by Foolio.
yeah.
Were you close friends with Charles Jones?
No,
Were you at that Airbnb that weekend because you are good friends with Tyfa McCray and Tyfa McCray?
yeah,
And were you the one that then invited Kemia Bentley to come along?
yes,
Now I want to go to the Saturday, June 23rd of 2024. Did you all go to a different Airbnb?
yes,
Was there going to be a party to celebrate Charles Jones's birthday?
yes,
Were there a lot more people at the party than who had been at the first Airbnb?
yeah,
Did you know Charles Jones' girlfriend at the time?
no,
Did you know, even though you didn't know her, was there a girl that was there that night that was his girlfriend?
yes.
When you all went to a club, who did you go to the club with?
Everybody that was there.
How many vehicles ended up going to the second club?
2 or 3.
2 or 3. Whose vehicle were you in?
Typhus.
Is that the same vehicle that you were in all night?
Yeah.
And were the same people with you all night?
Mhm.
Had you been drinking that night during the birthday celebration?
Yeah.
Had you been drinking at the clubs that you were at?
Yep.
How would you say that you were after the second club?
I was drunk.
Do you still remember that night, ma'am?
Yes.
After the second club, where did the group go, all of the people that you were hanging out with?
After the second club?
Yes.
On the second day?
Yes, the Saturday.
To a hotel.
Why were you guys going to the hotel?
To find somewhere to stay.
Were you familiar with Tampa and the location of the hotel?
No.
And when you got to the hotel, what happened once you got there?
I went to use the bathroom.
Did anyone go with you?
Tyfa.
And was Kemia Bentley, she left alone in the car?
Yeah.
Right. What happened when you were using the restroom?
I heard stuff outside,
What specifically did you
like
hear?
boom sounds.
And when you heard those boom sounds, what did you do?
I went by the front desk in the hotel.
Did you go outside at that point?
No.
Did you see Tyfa McCray?
Hmm.
Did he meet up with you at that lobby area?
Yes.
How many times did you hear those boom sounds?
Like 2 different times.
Two separate.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I couldn't hear the witness.
Could you say it a little bit? Can you move up to the microphone?
Like it started and it stopped and it started again.
So there was kind of like a brief pause in between the shooting, is that correct?
Yes.
At some point, does Mr. McCray, does he go out to look to see where any of the vehicles are?
Yeah.
Can you see, were there glass doors that led out to the parking lot, that separated the parking lot and the lobby?
Yes.
From that position inside the hotel, could you see whether or not your friend, Kemia Bentley, and Tyfa McCray's car was still out there?
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was gone?
Hmm.
And what about all the other cars?
All the cars were gone.
At some point, did you receive a phone call?
I called Kemia.
You called Kemia
Yeah.
Bentley. And did you, after that conversation, did Kemia Bentley come back to the hotel?
Yeah.
What happened after she came back in Tyfa McCray's car?
We took her to the hospital.
When you got to the hospital, did you stay there with her, or did you do something else?
No, I left
Why did you leave?
because I didn't want to come in contact with any police officers
And why did you not want to come into contact with police officers?
because I was on probation and I wasn't supposed to be there.
So did you leave in Tyfa McCray's car?
Yeah.
Did Mr. McCray, did he stay there with Aliyah, your friend, while she was getting treatment?
Kemia, but yeah, he did.
I'm sorry, Kemia Bentley, is that correct?
Hmm.
And where did you take the car?
To some apartments. I don't really know what they're called. I don't even know where they're at.
Did you call Mr. McCray to let him know where the car was?
Yes, I spoke to him. Well, I didn't call him and tell him. He called me and told me that the police were looking for the car. So I told him where the car was.
You communicated that to him?
Yes.
And were you still at the location with the car at the apartments when the police got there to look at the car?
Yes, I came back there with Tyfa.
At some point, did one of Mr. McCray's, Tyfa McCray's friends come to pick you up?
Yes, when I dropped the car off.
Did you, at some point, go back to the hotel where the shooting occurred?
Yes.
Do you know when you went back there, approximately what time it was?
It was daytime.
It was daylight
early,
at that
yeah.
point?
Mhm.
Okay. And were there others from the party that were still at that location?
Yes.
And you could see them?
Yeah.
When you heard the booms and the shots occur at the hotel, did you see anybody with any firearms?
No.
At some point, did a detective, a homicide detective Ramos with the Tampa Police Department call you and communicate with you after you had left back to Jacksonville?
Yes.
While you were in Tampa, did you talk to any law enforcement officers?
No.
And again, that was because you were concerned of probation?
Yeah, I didn't get permission to go out there, so I didn't.
Now, I know that you said that you knew Charles Jones, but you were not friends with him, is that correct?
Yes.
But you were familiar with all of the drill rap that he had done, is that correct?
Yes.
And you were also familiar with kind of the rival group, Yungeen Ace, is that correct?
Yeah.
In fact, you knew Kenyatta Bullard, is that correct?
Keontae, yes, I did.
Keontae Bullard, thank you for correcting me. And he is known as Yungeen Ace.
Yeah.
Did you date his younger brother?
Yes.
And what was his name?
Trayvon,
And when did that occur?
2018.
So quite a while before, is that all of this?
Yeah.
And so you know people on both sides, is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I have one moment?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, we pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, Ms. Albritton.
Good afternoon.
So if I understand this, it dawned on you at the time that all of this occurred that because there was going to be an investigation, you didn't want to have to give your name to the police, correct?
I didn't mind giving my name to the police,
Okay, well,
but at that moment in time, no, I didn't want to run into no police officers, no.
correct, because you were fearful that somehow that would get back to probation in Duval
Correct.
County,
Yes.
and that could create a problem for you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did that in fact occur?
Did I get in trouble?
Yeah, did they find out, probation find
They
out?
found out eventually, no, I didn't get in trouble.
Okay, they didn't violate your probation
No.
for leaving the county without permission?
No, they didn't.
And when you left, you put the car in an apartment complex close to the hospital, correct?
Yeah, I just went to the nearest apartments I seen, houses I seen.
And Mr. McCray, Tata, right? That's his name, Tata? I'm an old man, but when you have some type of relationship with someone, do you call it talking? When you're talking with someone?
Yeah, you can call it that.
And just so we're clear, when you called Mr. McCray your friend, he was a little bit more than a friend, like someone you would just hang out and go get a drink with or be a friend from school, correct? Can we both agree in that respect?
I guess.
Well, let me ask you, if you don't mind, were you more than just friends with Mr. McCray?
Do I have to answer that?
Well, yes. So was it more
I-
than just a platonic
I guess,
friendship?
yes, yes.
And nothing else necessary. He assisted you by contacting someone to come pick you up after you had dumped that car, correct?
Yes.
And then you hung out for some hours, I assume to kind of let things calm down. Would that be fair?
I rode out there with him. I didn't have a ride back. I had to get a ride back home. So I waited on him.
Understood.
And his mom came, yes, and I rode back with him and his mom.
So the goal at the end of the day was to get back to a point where you could get back to Jacksonville.
Correct.
But in the meantime,
Well, it was to get back with Tyfa, period. But I
Right.
didn't want to go to the hospital. I didn't want to do none of that.
right. And as you waited for that time period, you knew that there was probably an investigation going on because you heard all those shots, correct?
Yeah, I knew it was.
And the people that you were with during this time period when you were hiding out, you didn't know them, correct? They were just people that you were put in touch with to be able to
I
have
didn't know the
somebody.
person that picked me up, no. I didn't know him. I
And-
knew of him, but I don't know him, no.
And when you went back to the hotel and the scene, was that because you thought Tyfa would be there, or were you already in
No,
communication?
he wanted to,
Ma'am,
he
please,
went,
if you don't mind.
Yes, and so Because the court reporter's taking down everything that's being said, if you could please let Mr. Gonzalez just finish asking his question before you start answering.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a habit of doing it myself, so. So you were in communication with Mr. McCray, Tata, right?
Yes.
And did you know that he was going back to that scene? Is that why you went there?
No, he wasn't at the scene. I went back at the scene because the person I was in the car with went there to check on, I think, Monty. Because
Okay.
I seen Monty and I don't remember who else, but I seen Monty when I came there.
Armani Turner,
Yes.
okay, who you know fairly well, correct?
I don't know her.
You don't, okay, so
No.
you just met her that weekend?
I guess I didn't even meet her then.
Okay, but you went back to check on her?
I was just in the car.
Okay, the guy that you were with was
Yes.
gonna check on her? Okay, and you didn't stay there very long, correct?
No,
Probably
probably
for the,
like 25 minutes.
probably for the same reason, because you didn't want to be in a position where police might come up to you and ask you who you were or what you knew.
I mean, yeah, he was the driver though. He left. It was up to him. I didn't really care.
Okay. So, you were at this party for the weekend. There were several members of 6 Block there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, Tata is 6 Block. Correct?
I guess. I guess.
Well, you know enough about this to know. Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you had also dated, as you stated to the state in your direct examination, Quan in the past, some years ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you knew both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people in 6 Block knew that you used to date somebody from another opposition group, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They all knew that.
Said it, yes.
Yes, they knew.
And that wasn't an issue, or else you wouldn't have been there, correct?
No, it wasn't an issue.
No one gave you any problem over that, correct?
No.
Nothing further, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sinardi, any questions?
Very briefly,
Your Honor, can I ask one more question?
Yes.
You don't know Rashad Murphy, do you?
No, I don't know.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Albritton.
Hey, good afternoon.
Do you know who Kenny Capps is?
Yes, Robert.
I'm sorry?
His name is Robert.
Robert
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
And was he one of the ones at some point in time you rode in the car with this evening when all this went down?
I don't think I rode him at all in the car when I was down there.
Do you recall there was a point in time when Kenny Capps or Robert Howard refused to ride in the car with Charles Jones, Julio Foolio? You remember that?
Yes, I heard something about that.
You do recall that?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I have no further one other further. Do you know a Davion Murphy?
No.
Thank you. No further questions, sir.
Okay, Ms. Finkelstein?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My name's Jenna Finkelstein. I represent Sean Gathright. Do you know Mr. Gathright?
No.
Before this incident, we'll say, have you ever heard that name before?
No, never seen him before.
Okay, and you did testify a few minutes ago that you're familiar with people that associate with 6 Block and opposition groups, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and Sean Gathright was not known to you in either of those situations?
No, I don't know him.
And just one more question, ma'am. With the people that you were with here in Tampa, did anybody that was with you or in your group go by the name of Fat Boy? A
No.
nickname?
No. Somebody with me?
Yes.
That came with me?
Right.
No, I don't think so, no.
Nobody that you had a nickname that you know of,
No.
right? Okay, thank you, ma'am. No further questions.
Okay, Mr. Petrides?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You mentioned Mr. McCray's friend.
Sorry.
You're fine. Do you need some water?
Please, if I can get some.
Yep, the deputy will get.
I shouldn't have offered before I knew where it was.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, thank you. You said Mr. McCray's friend picked you up from the apartment complex?
Yes.
Was that someone named Mizzle, Mr. Taylor?
Say it one more time.
Was that someone who goes by the name of Mizzle, a Mr. Taylor?
Yeah, that I went with him, but that's not who picked me up, no. I don't know the name of the boy that picked me up.
But was a Mizzle there with you that weekend?
Yes.
Was he with everyone?
Yeah, he came to the clubs and stuff, and I think he came to the B&B, but he didn't come there, like, with us.
So he stayed somewhere else?
Yeah.
Did he have his own car?
Yes.
Do you know what car he had?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember, no.
And what about Robert Howard? Did he go to the clubs with you all?
Yeah.
Did he have his own car?
No. I think he rode with Charles.
And when before the shooting happened, you didn't see anything, correct? Out of the
No.
ordinary?
Mm-mm.
Were you able to hear the shooting when you were inside the bathroom?
No, I didn't hear it till I walked out the bathroom. The bathroom was in a hallway, so I didn't really hear it till I got out the hallway.
I think you even took a selfie in the bathroom and posted it. Is that correct?
I didn't post it, but I do have pictures in the bathroom, yes.
I believe that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Redirect?
Yes, just briefly, Your Honor.
Miss Albritton, when you were on probation, you never asked anyone from my office to intercede on your behalf. Is that correct?
As in what?
You were not violated for your probation. Is that correct?
No.
But that had nothing to do with this state attorney's office or my office. Is that correct?
No.
We never did anything on your behalf. That's what I'm asking.
Like towards my probation?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
And then going back to the party and the Airbnb that you were at before going to the clubs, there were lots of people there, is that correct?
Yes.
Lots of people from Jacksonville?
At the B&B?
Yes, at the party.
Yeah.
And there were people that followed the birthday celebration to the clubs, is that correct?
Yes.
Some of them.
Some of them, yes.
But at the hotel, there were only 3 vehicles, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, I have nothing further, Judge.
Okay, may this witness be excused?
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You're free to go. Okay, State, who's your next witness?